Sometimes I think we spend too much time stuck in what I call the ground level view, worrying about the slippery stones at our feet or the steep climb right in front of us. But everyone, I think, should keep a small joy somewhere in their heart, and every now and then we should let it rise. I've always believed that nature doesn't really speak. It somehow still leaves different answers in every person's heart. On Sunday afternoon, Runswick Bay gave me two. The wind carried a strong taste of salt. Beneath our feet, the rocks had been kissed by the sea thousands of times, now covered in dark brown seaweed. We stepped carefully across them, each step making a soft, damp sound, almost like the shore itself was whispering, "Slow down, my dear." Haibao bounced happily between the rocks, stopping to inspect every tiny pool of water. At that moment, I had no idea that this generous playground would later turn into a little island once the tide came back. Along the beach were small caves. At low tide, they revealed themselves, dark openings in the rock like quiet secrets the coastline had been keeping. Further ahead stood a steep set of stone steps, almost like a ladder leading up into the sky. There's something special about coastal steps. As you climb, your lungs open up, and so does the view. And then suddenly, when you reach the last step, the whole world unfolds. To the left stretched the endless blue sea, fading softly into the sky at the horizon. Waves broke into thin lines of white along the shore. Seagulls circled above us, their calls carried away and brought back again by the wind. To the right, the land softened into rolling fields and pastures. Sheep dotted the grass like small white clouds scattered across the earth. Birds searched the soil for food, patient and focused. At that moment, I realized I was standing between two worlds. Under my feet was a slippery present. In front of me stretched something almost timeless. The sea on one side, everyday life on the other, and we stood quietly in between. My husband sent the drone up into the air. The little machine buzzed higher and higher, like a second version of ourselves lifting into the sky. Later that evening, when we watched the footages, I was amazed. The path we had walked looked completely different from above. The slippery rocks, the careful steps, the places where we had slowed down. From the sky, they were barely noticeable, just a tiny detail along the vast edge of the sea. And that's when something clicked for me. So often in life, we are trapped in that ground level view. We see the obstacles right in front of us, but we can't see the bigger picture. The landscape hasn't changed, only our perspective has. And sometimes the difference between feeling stuck and feeling free is simply the distance of a small joint rising into the air. I think life needs two perspectives anyway.
Stairs!
As we walked along the coast, we kept checking the tide times. Coastal walking teaches you something important. You can fall in love with the view from the cliff, but you still need to know when it's time to turn back. The tide won't stop rising just because the scenery is beautiful. Time doesn't slow down just because we wish it would. Our vision can stretch far into the distance, but our steps still have to stay grounded in time. And if there's one thing I'd like to say to you, traveler, it's this. While your feet keep walking forward, keep a small joy in your heart. And whenever life begins to feel narrow, let it rise for a moment. From up there, you may see something surprising. The road you've walked is wider than you thought. The place you are standing is more beautiful than it seemed. And those steep climbs and slippery stones, they were never just obstacles. They were always part of the view.